Okay. So you understood, right, how to create a function and then, invoking the function, right? So let me show it how it will happen in background scenarios. Okay. Hmm. I want to basically show you the call stack. That's why I came here. Okay. Now let me show you something. I will create one variable 5. Okay. And what I will do console.log of A. Okay. Now what I will do, I will create one more function called get info, and I will use the round braces and I will use curly braces. Okay. And var A equal to Anusha, and I'll do nothing but I will just print this console.log of A. Okay. And after at line number 10, I will do again one more console. So whenever this file is executing, what will happen? Whenever this file is executing, what will happen? Whenever any JavaScript file is executing, what will happen?
Memory will be created.
Memory will be created. Execution context will be created, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why it is playing this? Yeah. So what will happen? We will have what that bucket thing is called as. What is this called as?
Stack.
Called
Stack.
stack. What in JavaScript? What is its name? Call stack. You people remember, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
You can see here, right? What is this? Call stack. Okay. So what will happen whenever any JavaScript file is executed? An execution context will be created. Okay. Let us name it as execution context 1. What are the two phases?
Memory and codage.
Memory phase and code of execution phase. So whenever any JavaScript file is executing, memory will be created for variables as well as for the functions. Memory will be allocated for variables as well as for the functions. So how many variables are there here?
1.
1. What is that? A. Okay. And what is its value? Undefined. Okay. And how many functions are there in this file?
1.
1. What is the name of the function?
Get info.
Get info. So we will write get info here, and what it will does, the key is get info, and as it is the function will be copied. As it is the function will be copied. So now we will come to code of execution phase. Okay. So whenever any execution context is created, what will happen? It will be pushed to the call stack. Understood? Till now,
Yes.
understood? Okay. Now let us do one thing. Okay. So we are coming to code of execution phase. What is there at line number 1?
Where a equal to 5.
Where a equal to 5. So what will happen?
5 is assigned to a.
This undefined is replaced with 5. Okay. And what is there in the next line?
A will be printed.
A will be printed. So imagine this is the console. Okay. A value 5 that will be printed. Okay. Now what is there in the next line?
Function declaration.
Function declaration is there. This piece of code will it be executing?
No, ma'am.
No, it will get executed only whenever function is called. Okay. So this is function declaration. So it will ignore. It will come to line number 7. So what will happen? We are invoking a function. Whenever any function is invoked, what will happen? A new execution context will be created. Okay, whenever any function is invoked, what will happen? A new execution context will be created. Imagine this execution context name is getInfo. Okay, and what are the again two phases?
Memory and code of it.
Memory phase and code of execution phase. So inside this function, how many variables are there?
One variable.
One variable. What is that?
A.
What is its default value?
Undefined.
Undefined. Okay. Now, what will happen? What I said, whenever any execution context is created, what will happen? This will get pushed to the call
Stack.
stack. Okay. So what will happen? It will contain one more thing called, imagine it is execution context 2. Okay. Now, are there any functions inside this function?
Oh, ma'am.
No. Then what we will proceed ahead? We'll go with the code of execution phase. So what is the first line in the function?
Anusha is assigned to a.
A value is assigned with Anusha. So undefined will be replaced with Anusha. Okay. Now what we are doing again?
Printing the a value.
What will be printed?
Anusha.
Anusha will be printed. And what will happen after line number 5? What is there? The function has ended.
Close.
Okay. So whenever this execution was completed, what will happen? This execution context will be no longer there. Okay. And we will resume back to execution context 1. So what will be there here?
A value is printed.
What is the A value?
5.
5. Very good. This is how the functions and execution context will work. Now I will show it visually for you. Okay. Let me reload and let me keep one debugger. So are you able to see the call stack?
Yes, ma'am.
What is there inside the call stack? Anonymous, right? So it is the entire file. And you can see one global object as well, right? A got attached to it. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let us run it. We came to the next line. You can see A is assigned with value 5. Then we will again come to the next line. You can see A value is printed. Okay. Now you can see from line number 2, it directly jumped to line number 7. Now this function invocation will happen. Now you can see something called one more scope called as local. Yes
Yes,
or
ma'am.
no? So this is the execution context or the memory that has been present for this function. Understood? Whenever this function has been completed, this local will not be there at all. That is the meaning. Okay. And you can see in the call stack, one more got added called get info.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the second execution context. Okay. And you can see here, there is one more variable with a undefined and a global variable with value as 5. Okay. Now let me jump to the next line. Are you able to see? Again, A is assigned with Anusha. And if I print it, you can see it printed Anusha here. Now, let us go to the next line. So, are you able to see again the local scope here? Is it there or not?
No, ma'am.
No. Are you seeing get info in this call stack?
No, ma'am.
Why it is not there?
It is removed from the call stack.
Yeah, the function execution has been completed. That's why it's removed from the call stack. Okay. And that's why if you do again console.log of A, what will be printed? 5 will be printed. Any doubt, anyone? Naren, Revati, Rama, you people are not responding at all. Did you understand or shall I repeat it once more?
Ma'am,
It's a
you have
little
to
bit confused.
Sorry, Naren.
It's a little bit confused. If I watch the second time, I can easily able to
Okay.
understand. But
Yes.
just right now, I'm just listening. I'm able to adapt to what you are saying.
Okay. So I can go ahead and close it. Nandini, what you are telling?
Ma'am, we have to execute line by line or overall code will be executed at once.
Overall code is executing. I am just keeping a debugger to show you like at this point after where it will go. Okay.
Okay.
So this is function declaration. This code will not get executed. Everything in JavaScript execute line by line. Okay.
Okay.
That's why JavaScript is called synchronous single-threaded language, which means that it will execute all of the code line by line. First this line, next this line, next this line, next this line, like that. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Rama, are you telling anything?
Nothing, ma'am.
Okay. So Narain, to recap you, I'll tell it once more. Okay. So what I said yesterday, whenever any JavaScript code is getting executed, what will be there? Narain?
Yes.
Whenever any JavaScript code is executing, what will be there? An execution context,
Memory and
an execution context
mem.
will be created. Yes or no?
Yes. The two the memory and code of execution.
And what I said, this will be pushed to what?
Stack.
Call stack. Okay.
Call stack.
Is E1. So what will happen in the memory phase? Memory will be allocated for all the functions and variables. Okay. How many variables are there here?
One.
One.
A.
What is that?
A.
And it is initialized with what is the default value?
Undefined.
Undefined. Okay. How many functions are there here?
One.
What is that function name?
Anusha.
I said
Sorry, get info.
function name, get info. Okay.
Get info.
It will contain a key as get info and all the code will be as it is copied. Okay, I'll show you here. I forgot to show you that. So just we are at the line number 1 and let me show you. Are you able to see get info here?
Yes, yes.
And you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
see F here, right? Which means that it's a function. And the function name is get info. By this parenthesis. Understood? So memory has been created for variables and functions in the memory phase. And what will happen? Line by line code will get executed. Okay. What is there at line number 1? Where a equal to 5 is there. So what happens? Where a equal to 5 will be encountered, undefined will be replaced with 5. Okay.
Fine.
Then what is there
Yes.
at line number 2? Console.log of a. What is the current value of a? What is the current
5.
value of a? 5 will be printed. Okay. Then what happened? We have function declaration. So it will not get executed until we invoke a function, correct? So all this line of code will be ignored. Okay. Now what will happen? We will jump to line number 7. What we are doing, we are invoking a function. Whenever any function is invoked, a new execution context will be created. This point you understood, Naren?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And what are the variables in this function? How many variables are there in this function get info?
There is no variable. I think it's undefined.
A variable is there, right? So a function starting is this curly brace and a function ending is this curly brace. So inside, if we are defining anything with var keyword, what is that? It's a variable, right? So how many variables are there inside this function?
3, 4, 5,
1,
6.
1.
One.
One.
What is the name of the variable?
A.
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 Okay. And what is its default value?
Undefined.
Undefined.
Undefined. Are there any functions inside this function?
No.
No. Do you contain any function keyword inside these braces? No, right? So no functions. Then what will happen? Line by line code will get executed. At line number 4 will get executed. So whenever line number 4 is executed, A will be replaced with Anusha. Okay. And what we are doing? Console.log of A. In this scope, what is the A value right now? Anusha. Yes or no?
Anusha.
Okay. Now what will happen? This close brace means function completed. When the function is completed, what will happen? What I said, whenever it is invoked, it will push to the call stack, right? These will
E2.
be popped out. We will be removing this, and this execution context will no longer be present. Okay, whenever the function has been completed. Now only this execution context will be there, and we will return back to where it was called. So what is there after that line number? Console.log of A. What is the current value of A right now? Naren?
5.
5. 5 will be printed. That's it. Understood?
Yes, yes.
Rama, Revati, Nandini.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. And I showed it to you visually as well so that you will understand better. You can see here a variable is there and you can see its value is undefined, which meaning is that not even one line is executed. Okay. And you can see the get info function as well. Am I correct? Okay. Now let us go to the next line. And you can see A is assigned with value 5. Now you can see where did the cursor go? Cursor go to the line number 7. And you can see it will start creating one more new execution context. You can see it here, right? Get info. And you can see in this execution context, what is there? A variable A is there and its value is undefined. Now you can see line number 4 will get executed. A is replaced with Anusha. Next, it will print a value Anusha in the console. Okay. Next, what will happen? This function completed. What will happen? It returned to the line number 8. So what happened? Execution context is no longer there. It's destroyed. So what is the current value of A? 5. 5 will be printed on the screen. Understood?
Yes,
Any
sir.
doubts? No.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And let me tell you some more things as well. Now, inside the function execution context, how many variables are there?
One.
Function, how many variables are there?
2.
No.
Why 2?
A
No.
and B, ma'am.
Why A and B? I'm just accessing A, that's it. What you are doing here? You are just declaring a variable with var keyword. How many variables are there inside this function?
1.
1. Let me show you that. You can see how many variables are there.
1.
1. What is that? B. Okay.
D.
Similarly, I can even pass some arguments to my function. Okay. For example, I can pass let b equal to 10. Okay. I can pass this b value here. Since I am passing some value, my function will receive some value. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So these here, whatever we are passing here they are called as function arguments. Okay. Whatever we are receiving here, they are called as function parameters. Okay. Whatever value we are sending here, we call it as function arguments. Whatever we are receiving here, they are called as function parameters. So what we are passing here?
B.
B. So we are passing a value called B, which a value of 10. So whenever the execution context of this function has been created, there will be one local variable called G, whose value is 10. Okay, let me show you that. And what it will print, this console.log,
10.
10 will be printed. Okay, let me show you that. Yeah, you can see, since I have declared with a let keyword, the B, it is assigned a different memory space and its value is undefined. You can see its value got updated to 10. And what I am doing, and I am invoking this function and I am passing the B as an argument to it. Okay. So what this function is does, you can see one local memory. This is created
Yes.
whenever this function is invoked, and you can see G is there, and what is its value?
10.
So
10.
basically, whatever value we are passing here, that will be assigned to this variable, and we are doing nothing but console.log of G, and it will give us 10 in the console. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So B here is called as what?
Function argument.
It is called as function arguments here, and it is called here as function
Function
parameter.
parameters.
Okay. And suppose if I want to pass one more value, for example, let's see. equal to 30. So what I will do, I'll just separate it with one more with comma and I'll give it. And while passing, what I will do, I'll take some h. So I'll just give g comma h. So what will be printed right now?
10 and 30.
10
30.
comma 30 will be printed. Okay. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what is this called as? What is this entirely called as?
Function declaration.
Function declaration. Okay. It is also known as function statement. Function declaration is also known as function statement. And it's a mandatory rule that every function should contain a name. Okay. If you are creating a function without a name, are you seeing something called red color? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So, which means that it's an error. Everything, every function should have a name in the JavaScript. Okay. Otherwise, it will give you an error. So you can see here, function statements require a function name. Understood? So we have something called anonymous functions in JavaScript. Anonymous function. So a function without name are called as anonymous functions. What they are called as?
Anonymous function.
A function without a name are called anonymous function. So this function is an anonymous function. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it
Yes.
contain any name? No, right? But there is a rule that every function should contain a name and we are using anonymous function. You might be getting a doubt where these anonymous functions are useful. Functions are very beautiful, which means that you can even assign a function to a variable. So we can even assign a function to the variable. This is called as function expression. What it is called as?
Function expression.
Assigning a function to a variable. Assigning anonymous function to a variable is called as function expression. Okay. Now this name of the function will become this A and you can just invoke it. So whenever I am invoking it, what will be printed in the console? What will be printed here? Am I passing any function arguments here?
No, ma'am. Undefined.
Do we have function parameters? Do we have function parameters?
Yes, ma'am. G and H.
G and H are the parameters. Okay. So what is the default value for variable?
Undefined.
So what will be printed?
Undefined.
Undefined comma undefined will be printed.
Undefined.
Okay, let me just save it and let me just show you. Are you able to see? So I'll
Yes.
just run this program so that you'll get a better understanding. So let me just do it. So you can see memory has been created for a variable and what is its default value?
Undefined.
And whenever this line has been completed, you see what will happen. Are you able to see something called function? F here.
Yes, ma'am.
So which means that A became a function, and we can just use A as the name of the function and the round braces, and we can just invoke it. Understood? And whenever function invocation happen, what are the two variables G and H? And what is its default values? Undefined. And that we are printing. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. No doubt, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Now let you people tell what will be printed here. What we are doing here?
Function call.
We are invoking a function. But at this point of time, A is a variable or A is a function.
A is a variable.
So A is a variable. So are we supposed to do round braces for a variable?
No, ma'am. Error.
No, we will get an error. Okay. These round braces we can give only for a functions, not for variables. Okay. So what happens? Even before a single line of code got executed, A's value is undefined, and we are doing undefined of function invocation, which will give us an error. Understood? Yes or no? It's undefined. And what we are doing, we are trying to invoke it. What we are getting? A is not a function.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the difference between a function declaration and a function statement. Okay. For example, if I have a normal function here, and for example, ABC, and if I am trying to invoke it, so what will be printed here now?
Undefined, undefined.
Undefined, undefined. But in case of here, we will get an error. You understood the difference? I'll show you once more. So wait a second. Let me just reload everything. You can see ABC, it clearly states it's a function. But in case of A, it clearly states it's a variable as defined with undefined, assigned with variable undefined. Okay. That's why if you are invoking this ABC function, you can see a local memory has been created and it printed undefined comma undefined. But whenever you are trying to do undefined of braces, it is giving you an error stating that A is not a function. After this line has been executed, if you are trying to invoke it, it's perfectly valid. Okay, let me show you that as well. So you can see A became a function and ABC is already a function. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you people understand Naren, Rama,
Yes, yes, yes.
Revati?
Yes, ma'am.
So these are the concept. What is function declaration?
Function name,
Okay,
bracket
round braces and then curly braces is called as a function declaration. What is function statement?
function call.
What is function statement? A function declaration is also known as function
Function
statement.
statement.
Okay. What do you mean by an anonymous function?
A function without name is called anonymous.
A
Without name
function
or follows.
without a name is called anonymous function. What is function expression?
Variable is declared with as function.
Assigning an anonymous function to a variable is called function expression. Assigning an anonymous function to a variable is called function expression. What is the difference between a function declaration and function expression? What is the difference between function expression and a function declaration? If we are trying to access a function expression variable, we will get an error. But in case of the function, if we are trying to access, we will not get any error. That is the difference. Understood? Yes, sir. No, please tell. I'm shouting. It's end of the day and still I'm struggling to tell. And you people are not at all speaking.
Yes, Amisha.
Yeah. So, any doubts, anyone? Whenever any function is invoked, what will happen? Whenever any function is invoked, what will happen?
Function declaration will be called.
Whenever any function is invoked, an execution context will be created. A new execution context will be created and that will be pushed to the call stack. So far, any doubts? What is the difference between a let variable and a const variable?
For constant, we have to declare a variable. Sorry, we have to assign the value.
Okay.
It is not necessary for let variables, and we cannot reassign in a constant. We can reassign in a let.
Very good. So at the time of declaring, this is nothing but variable declaration. Okay. You are using a keyword and the name of the variable. This is nothing but variable declaration. So in case of let variable, initializing value means assigning some value to a variable. So at the time of variable declaration, you need not to initialize a value to the variable. But in case if you are declaring a variable with a const keyword, you need to initialize some value. Otherwise, we will get an error. Understood? So if I am not initializing any value for this variable, we will get an error.
Error.
Okay. But in case of let variables, it's perfectly fine. It will print as undefined.
Undefined.
Okay. And you can reassign a value for your let variable. Okay. You can see you are initialized some value. But in case of the const variable, you cannot reassign. It will give you an error. These are the main two differences. Okay. What is the difference between let variable and var variable? Let and var.
Same variable we cannot assign.
We cannot redeclare a same variable. Okay. And memory will be different. In case of var variable, it will get attached to window object. In case of let and const, they are allocated a different memory space. And you can access a var variable even before you are declaring them. And it will give you a value of undefined. But if you are trying to access a let or the const variable before declaring it, we will get a reference error. This is the one more main difference. నీది రోజు ఇది ఒకటి అయిపోయింది నీకు చూడు మళ్ళీ డోర్ ఎట్ట తెరిచి వెళ్ళిపోతాడు. And what is the one more difference? In the same scope, you cannot redeclare a same variable. Understood? That's it for today's class. I'll just upload it in half an hour. Okay, please come prepared. I'll ask some questions tomorrow again. It's for your wish. I am suggesting you. If you are not learning at this time, you will not learn forever. Okay. And even if you are noticing, I am going very slowly so that you'll understand better. Yes or no?
Yes, Anisha.
Yeah.
ma'am.
Please practice and come back for tomorrow's class. And Naren, just watch those
sir.
HTML videos as well and come back, okay? Because I need to even tell some of the concepts in HTML, okay?
Oh, okay, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.